Start.
For day one of the Carlow White-Low Invitational. Game one features the Celtics of Carlow and your Bridgewater College Eagles. At this time, if you're able, please rise and remove your caps as we honor America with the playing of the Star Spangled Banner.
Well, good afternoon and welcome to the Carlisle White-Low Invitational. Carl Magenhofer, Brock Zorn, Jen Chan here with us this afternoon as we get ready for the first game of what will be two here this afternoon. I'm assuming, Brock, you've got what? Methodist and EMU coming
That's
up
right.
after this. So Mennonites and Methodists, all right. We're all for it. Let's take a look at the starting lineups first for the visitors. The Celtics from Carlow, 6 foot, 175-pound junior out of Pittsburgh, Jimmy Giannetta, averaging 11 points and about 3.5 rebounds a game. Jordan Tavares, a 6 foot sophomore from New Kensington, Pennsylvania, averaging better than 7.5 and 2.5 rebounds a game. Clayton Cook in the starting lineup, a 6'3 junior out of Brookville, Pennsylvania, 7 points and 4 boards a game. Tamasi Bafihi, a 6'5 junior out of Wellington, New Zealand, averaging better than 12 points and 5 boards a game. And rounding out the lineup is 6'2 freshman out of Middletown, Pennsylvania, Alil Batts, a 6-point, 1.5 rebound average on the season thus far. How's Mike Munchko lining the Eagles up today?
Well, Carl, first off, it's going to be a 6'4 guard, a junior out of Gate City, Virginia, number 0, Bradley Owens. Then a 6'2 guard out of Charlotte, North Carolina, number 2, Jameer Brown. Next, a 6'6 forward, a junior out of Raleigh, North Carolina, Muth Diop. Then a 5'11 guard, a junior out of Blountstown, Florida. It's McKees Ingram. And finally, rounding out the lineup for Coach Munchko, it's a 6'6 center, the senior out of Sperryville. It's number 32, Mason Ramey.
Well, let's see how this one lines up. I told Jen earlier, Carlow reminds me an awful lot of my high school years. Our school colors were purple and cream, not white. Although by the time the jerseys showed up, they were usually, everything was purple and white. And instead of the shamrock like they have, we had a little leprechaun that they called a Gale as our little deal there. But they're the Celtics. They're not the Shamrocks. They're not anything else. Oh, gosh. The jump was a little interesting. It comes down to Carlow. Tavares gets it off to Giannetta. Giannetta to Cook up top. He'll go right side. Pavihi over into the corner. Back up top to Cook. Cook wants to hand off. No. Keeps it himself. Now it's stolen away. And here we go. All the way down. And Jameer puts it up and in. Brown with the steal and the hoop to make it 2-0 Bridgewater here in the early going. Giannetta will handle, bringing it into the front court. Goes right side. That's where he finds Pavihi. Pavihi wanting to drive on Ramey. Kicks it back outside. Won't take the three. Now here's Giannetta. He doesn't. Working. Trying to drive on Brown. Instead, it's out to Cook. Just 9 on the shot clock. It's stripped away. Now thrown up to Brown. Can he run it down? Yes! He adjusts in the air and lays it up and in. The second steal and bucket for the Eagles. Defense equals offense. Front court, Giannetta. They'll whip it around the outside. Tavares handles. Working on the outside against Owens. Little stop and go action. Nice spin in the lane. Then took too much time. And the rebound will come down to the Eagles. You see that an awful lot, Brock, underneath the hoop where players take too much time to gather themselves. And it just allows the defense to show up. Shot from Brown is off the mark and rebounded. And for Brown, he is going to struggle to have as efficient a night as he did in the loss against Penn State Harrisburg. He was 8 of 10 from the floor. Nice rebound there by Diop after the good defense by Ramey underneath. Brown into the front court and an offensive foul. Okay. I thought Tavares just slipped out front.
Yeah, I didn't see the contact there, but
30-second timeout for the coach. We'll keep it here. And early going 4-0. Eagles have 2 easy run-out baskets, but have yet to kind of run the offense.
Right, and I think it's interesting to see this team's defensive pressure just because I think with the teams in the past, sometimes you look at the defense and you think maybe they're a touch slow sometimes on the defensive end. They just seem to kind of miss reads. But so far here this afternoon, they've looked really good on the defensive end, just looking to see the offense pick up and get to that same level, which I'm sure they will. It's just kind of haven't really had a lot of opportunities yet.
Really only one kind of offensive possession, and they didn't hold it very long. They didn't really kind of cycle the whole offense, as I would say it. So Carlow starts with it here after the offensive foul, creates the turnover for the Eagles. It does not say that on the on my little machine here. That should be a turnover. Into the front court they come. Giannetta handles on the outside. Hands it off to Tavares. Tavares, oh my goodness. And they'll call a blocking foul.
Foul number 0.
Getting run over was Owens. Huh. I'm not sure what you're supposed to do defensively there. Oh, Giannetta left alone. Nice. No good, though, but the rebound, Pavihi. He's going to work on Ramey. Shoots up and over and won't go down. The rebound tapped around. Comes back down to Cook. He's got it up and in. And the Celtics have their first points of the night. And it's because the offense got a couple of chances. Brown was not anticipating the pass. And miraculously gathered it inside. Here's Ingram. Ingram, bothered by Giannetta. Goes to Ramey. Back to Ingram. Ingram looking to drive. Loses the handle, has it stolen away, and then commits the foul. As he fouled Alil Batts.
That's one of those unfortunate fouls where just trying to get back in the play and end up in the wrong place at the wrong time.
3 fouls against the Eagles, none whistled against the Celtics yet. As Batts will trigger in and gets it to Giannetta. Giannetta goes to Cook up top. Now to Batts. Pavihi. They'll weave it around the outside. Not taking the shot was Tavares. Now kicks it out. Here's an open three. No good. Long rebound tapped out. And it'll be another Carlow opportunity here. Here's another shot from the outside. That won't go down. Ramey does collect the board and will go the other way. Diop races into the front court. Back to Ingram. Ingram looks back. They want the fist play but stay loose. And an offensive foul against Ramey. That was easy to call. Ramey flipped the hip there a little bit. I mean, you can foul somebody, just don't make it easy, right?
Right.
Lincoln Jackson is on for the Eagles. 6'4" freshman out of Louisville, North Carolina. Giannetta up top to Tavares. Tavares back to Giannetta. Excuse me, that was Cook. Giannetta stops, pops, no good. Rebound comes back to Giannetta somehow. He's under the bucket, turns around and shoots. Boy, he shook Brown. They got the bucket, and it's 4-4. Eagles offense has technically not scored, if you think about it. Brown trying to set up the offense. Goes to Jackson up top. Down low, Brown kicks it out. Diop is open for three. Sets, shoots, off the mark. Rebound collected by Pavihi, and he gets it off to Tavares. Tavares, front court. Trying to use Cook as a screen. Looks like he'll get it back to Giannetta. He does. And now tries to clear out that left side, or at least send Tavares the other way. Here's Batts, and Batts runs into a defender. A lot of hands there. Cook with just 7, tries to spin, puts it up, won't go down, and Jackson comes down with a rebound. Quickly up court, Brown. Brown wants to go all the way. He's underneath the bucket, swings it out, way up top. Diop doesn't take the three, instead drives to the bucket, off the glass and in. Eagles back on top, 6-4.
A nice play by Brown on the drive to really control his tempo. I mean, he's all speeding up and slowing down, able to get baseline and find the open man.
Not only that, but it also drew an extra defender to him, and I think that created an ability to pass it around and find the open man. And Pavihi with the Euro step. Can you call it a Euro step if he's from New Zealand? 6-6 is your score. Brown picked up. Oh, Tavares. Oh, Brown and Tavares. And Brown better be careful. Here's Jackson bullying his way to the bucket. It's good! Jackson's first action of the season. Got a rebound on one end and a bucket now down here on the other end as the Eagles are up by 2 again. Giannetta works between the circles. Goes out to Tavares. Tavares in the lane, lost the handle briefly and puts it up and in. 8-8. Well, that defense that was there early for the Eagles has gone away. Ingram working up top. Goes to Jackson. Jackson in the lane, fights, got capped. Yep, nice call by the referee. That's a really good call. Media timeout. 13:56 left to go here in the first half. We're all knotted at 8. This is Bridgewater College basketball on Flo College. Back here at Nininger Hall, a 8-8 ball game with 13:56 left to go here in this one. In the first half, that is. Look at Carlow. 4 different players have scored a bucket. For the Eagles, the 4 points by Brown, and then Diop and Jackson both with buckets. But Jackson just got capped here on the other end. It will still be Eagles basketball in the alternating possession. Malik Richardson is checked in. Kyron Smith is in. Also into the ball game for the Eagles is Javon Jenkins. Jenkins handles now. Right side, three-pointer, good by Ingram. 11-8, first three-pointer of our basketball game. Allen into the front court. DeJuan Allen, a junior out of Atlanta, goes to Spy, excuse me. Spy on the outside. Adnan trying to get inside on Kyron Smith. Instead of to go outside to Cook. Cook tries to split the defenders high off the glass. It's good. It counts in a foul. Nice drive there by Clayton Cook. Diop's second foul. Saw this last time. Diop got some fouls very early and then played very smartly with them the whole rest of the way. Problem for the Eagles here, 5 whistles against Bridgewater, none against Carlow. Sometimes the referees forget who the home team is. Cook at the foul line. He is 7 of 12 on the season. And it's no good. Rebound collected underneath for the Eagles by Carter Palmer. Between circles, Ingram. Wanted to go to Jenkins instead, over here to the corner. Palmer back to Richardson. Richardson had a little bit of a mismatch here. Instead, cross-court pass to Smith. Here we go. Ingram three-pointer. Rims out. Rebound going to be collected underneath by Pavihi. Quickly gets it to Tavares. Tavares trying to beat everybody down court, and he does. Carlow up 12-11. That's just lackadaisical basketball is what it is. Jenkins front court. Gets it to Malik. Richardson working against Pavihi. Leaned on a little bit. To Ingram. Down low. Smith gets squished between a couple of players. And will they go Spy? Yes.
You mentioned that's their first foul there called against Carlow. I mean, I think some of that also has to do with Eagles just not really being able to get into offensive rhythm like we talked about. There hasn't been a lot of plays under the basket. We've seen a couple threes and a couple of fast break plays, but that's about it.
Yeah, not much dribble drive or anything like that. Checking into the game is Taven Adamson. Underneath the bucket, they get it to Richardson. Richardson working against Cook underneath. Turns, shoots, up, good. Malik Richardson with the bucket. Eagles up by 1. Into the front court comes Tavares. Tavares wants to drive, sealed off. Here's Cook. Oh, nice move at the top of the lane. Shook his defender, and Carlow's up by a point again. 14-13. Front court they come. Ingram around the Richardson screen. Now gives it to Malik. Malik wanted a hand to Jenkins. It was not pretty, but effective. Gets back to Richardson. Elevates for 3. Rims out. That was a pretty shot. Malik's got such a pretty stroke. Cook over here on the near side. Looking to break it down. Stops, pops. Nothing but the bottom of the net. Carlow up by 13. 16-13 the score. Jenkins across the timeline. Goes Richardson up top. Malik. Cross-court pass stolen away. Can he beat Adamson down the court? No, he cannot. Adamson with a steal and the bucket. The Eagles are in trouble. They need a timeout. 18-13, Carlow on top. Full timeout, so we'll take the break with them. It's Bridgewater College basketball on Flo College. Brock, you're just really getting beaten effort-wise, at least at the moment. It's not just execution, which I think will come. The problem is you're getting beaten down the court.
Right, and I think something interesting to note is that starting off this game, Eagles were in a heavy press. I mean, they were full court pressing, picking them up right at the inbound, and they've kind of gone away from that. And I'm not sure exactly why. I'm sure there's reasoning behind it, but some of that lack of effort comes with they're not pressing, they're not playing as hard a defense of a set as they usually do, and I think that's something to keep note of.
Well, I think part of that was we've got 5 fouls. We got to be extra careful. And when you had Moose pick up 2 real quick, and that was just ill-advised. And they bail him out. And Mason Ramey, I have to agree, as he turns to Ingram and say, why in the world did you pass it to me? That's throwing it into triple coverage. You got lucky they called pass interference, basically. So Cook gets whistled for the foul. Ingram with it. Fresh 20. Palmer back to Ingram. Ingram tries to go around Ramey. Now along the baseline. Has to go down. Mason spins in the lane, kicks it out. Thought Palmer was open for 3. Now here's a 3 for Jenkins. Off the iron, no good. But the rebound is tapped out. Palmer will handle. Now here's Smith trying to break through the defenders. A blocking foul, and it counts. They'll give him the continuation. Coach St. George disagreeing with the referee's assessment. And Kyron Smith goes to the line. 4 of 7 on the season. There you go. That helps. Eagles trim the deficit to 2, 18-16. A little under 10.5 left in this one. Spy into the front court. Goes up top. Pavihi. Pavihi had Adamson in the corner. Instead, it's back to Spy. He pushes off of Jenkins. Now pushes into him and drives to the bucket. High off the glass and good. Makes it hard to play defense with all the push off because you know the second you put your hands on him, you're going to get the whistle. Ingram, front court, Eagles down by 4 as he goes to Smith. Smith tried to spin, kicked it out. Jenkins along the baseline, adjusts underneath. Ramey with a bucket and the foul. Wow, that is some good ball movement for the Eagles. And what a finish by Ramey at the hoop. And the foul. It says 34, but it should be 24. Should be Adamson, 24. Ramey goes to the line. 7 of 8 from the foul line on the season. Missed that one. Adamson with the flat-footed rebound. Hands it off to Giannetta, who's back into the ball game. 2-point lead for Carlow as Pavihi handles on the outside. Goes around the screen, kicks the corner, wide open is Spy, and his triple is true. 23-18 as he hits from the near corner. Knocked away from Ramey, thrown into the backcourt, and that should, okay. Wasn't sure if they would count that as a possession or not. And an offensive foul against Ramey. Second offensive foul against Ramey, his second of the game. 5-point contest, Carlow on top. Normally something you hear in football is they're running the waggle. What did we hear the other night, Jen? Flow Rider? And then there was another one that was musically inclined, wasn't there? Can't think of it at the moment. We've heard some good ones this year. Giannetta tries to force his way to the basket, and they say he traveled. Tried to do too much. It's one of those things. Coach St. George, let me tell you a short story, Jimmy. There's 4 other guys on the court wearing the same jersey as you. You can pass it to them. Deloach in the game. Deloach handles. Goes to Ramey. Ramey, touch pass back outside. Brown handles. Hands back to Brown. Kicks to the corner. Palmer's three-pointer. Good. 2-point game again as Palmer answers the three with a three. That's helpful. Front court Spy. Spy to Giannetta. Now over near side. Now is Allen. Pavihi looking to drive, almost has it knocked away. Somehow gathers, bulls his way in, can't get it. Rebound somehow comes down to Jenkins. And Jenkins gets bodied up by Adamson. What a foolish foul. That far away from the bucket. What's the sense of that? And that should be the second foul against Adamson. Scoreboard says one. We'll see what happens. Now, you weren't here, I don't think, the other night, Brock, when the referees came to us and Jen had to bail me out when they asked when fouls got called. She dialed it right up on the old monitor here and figured it out.
I just really trust you, Carl.
Very impressive. Oh, well, I mean, if Jen wasn't here, I wouldn't trust anything. Not at this table. Good grief. Cook, right side, Giannetta. Giannetta back up top. Here's Bats. Bats, nice fake, and then pushes it towards the bucket, but it won't go down. Ramey gets it, shovels to Brown. Eagles with a chance to tie or take the lead here with about 7.5 left in the half. Into the corner. Jenkins wanted to go baseline, almost stepped on it, I thought. Palmer elevates for two. They say three. Okay. Eagles do take the lead, 24-23. I'm way across the court, so don't mind me when I thought his foot was on the line. Seriously. Spy on the outside, working against Delowich. Now looks to drive baseline, and it's kicked out of bounds. It'll still be Carlow basketball. Braden Beard will come in for the first time. Beard, a 6'1 sophomore from Myersville, Maryland. Myersville was in a documentary I was watching last night, one of those Find Your Missing Family documentaries I watched last night. It's halfway between Frederick and Hagerstown. Not that any of you care about Maryland geography. All right, let's take a break. It's Bridgewater basketball on Flo College.
Make stuff up.
7:06 left here in this first half. Eagles on top, 24-23. I guess the printer is not printing, or is that correct? Or
yeah,
they're not worried about us, which is fine. Triggering in is Carlow. Giannetta goes way up top to Bats. Bats handles with Palmer on him. Back up top to Giannetta. 9 on the shot clock as Giannetta works on the outside. Has to go to Cook, fakes the three. Now pulls up, no good. Rebound collected by Brown underneath. Brown, front court. Driving along the baseline, shot's no good, but a foul underneath. As the Eagles send Dylan Donner into the game, another freshman out of Warrenton. Eagles using a couple of players this afternoon that have not seen action yet this year. Not good for my charts. As Donner takes the free throw. Good. First collegiate point for Dylan Donner. Played at Fauquier High School. Second shot by Donner. Good. Perfect. Eagles up by 3. They've been up by as many as 4. Carlow's led by as many as 5 as Giannetta into the front court. Goes to Tavares. Tavares to Cook. Cook had Beard in the corner, instead Giannetta. Giannetta A lot of head and shoulder fake out of this Carlow team that has been somewhat effective. And Tavares leaves it behind. Delowich into the front court to Brown. Brown couldn't, it wasn't safe to throw it into Palmer. Back outside, Delowich picks up the dribble, goes to Brown. A little bit of a weave action. Brown can't get in. Now outside, and an offensive foul. They'll say Hutchinson was trying to clear out. Denard Hutchinson, the senior out of Hopewell. 7th foul against the Eagles. And Batts will trigger in. To Giannetta. 6 minutes left here in the first half. 3-point Bridgewater advantage. Giannetta to Cook, now Batts. Pavihi back to Cook as they wheeled around the outside. He tells Beard, come a little bit closer. Now down to Pavihi, working on Hutchinson. Kicks it out. Giannetta's three-pointer off the side of the iron, no good, but Beard is there. Turnaround, that's no good. And the rebound taken off by Palmer. Delowich, front court. Did he see a lane? Oh, that's a tough one if you're Carlow. I think Beard's going to get the foul. And to the line goes Jalen Delowich. The 6'3", 200-pound senior out of Richmond is 5 of 7 from the foul line. Coming off one of his better. That's not right. Not 5 of 7. Excuse me. Looking at Malik. Jalen was 3 of 4 so far on the year. And he gets one, the first one to go home. Second shot upcoming. Today. Good. It's the second game, Jalen. It's the second game today. Here we go. 28-23, Eagles with their largest advantage of the afternoon. It's just inside the 5:30 mark. Up top, Cook working on Palmer. Hands back to Giannetta. Pushes Palmer to the outside. Batts elevates for 3, and that's going to be maybe off a hand. Smartly taken off by Delowich. That was a smart play because, and then he threw it in the front row. No, I just think that rebound was smart rather than letting it go, because if it had been tipped, they'd have just given it right back to Carlow. And then he threw it away anyway. Doesn't matter. Carlow has it anyway. Here comes Batts front court. Now Cook. Giannetta. 5-minute mark. Beard wide open for 3. The deep 3 won't go down. And the rebound going to be collected by Donner. Donner comes front court. Gives to Brown. Jameer. Won't go to Delowich because that didn't look too good. Donner up top. They'll work it around the outside. Palmer goes down low, and it's knocked out of Donner's hands, out of bounds. Pavihi denies the entry pass. Eagles will have 14 seconds to operate with as they in underneath the bucket. Brown will do the honors. Brown, got to get it to somebody. He does. Gets it into Hutchinson. Hutchinson has it knocked away. Can he get it back? He does. Gets it into the corner. Delowich with just 5 on the shot clock takes the crazy 3, but it's good! Oh, prayer answered. I was about to say he kind of hurried. He had another moment, but why not? The Eagles up by 8. Now up top. Cook picks up the dribble, goes Giannetta. Back to Cook. He's left alone. His three-pointer's no good, and the rebound comes down to Donner. Donner, front court, pushes Palmer, sealed off by Pavihi, but still spins. It's no good, and the rebound collected underneath, yes. It kind of bounced around quite a bit. It's Pavihi, and that's a foul. Yep. You can't argue with that. Brown picks up, and this should be a 1-1 opportunity. First foul against Brown. 8th against the Eagles. Media timeout. All right. 31-23, Eagles on top, just inside 4 minutes to go here in the first half. It's Bridgewater College basketball on Flo College. Well, the Eagles have been a little more spirited of late. Currently on a 13-0 run, 15-3 if you go back a little bit further. The Eagles have responded. Ooh, this is pretty. Look at it. Even toner involved in whatever printer this came from. All right. So there you go. Ooh. Eagles shooting 61%. Is that accurate? That's pretty good. 44% from beyond the arc. Carlow just 1 of 7, 14%. Eagles have still taken 8 less shots than Carlow has. So here's the free throw opportunities. Pavihi, who's 61% and gets to the line with great regularity. He is far and away taking the most free throws on this Carlow squad. Sinks the first one to break the 13-0 run. Second shot upcoming. That one, good too. Woo, almost stolen away. Front court, Brown. Brown going to wait for the rest of the offense to show up. Now goes into the lane, tried to shoot, and got. Cook will commit the foul in the book. Oh no, they say 15. That's Pavihi. I thought Cook was the guy who was there. Okay. So, did I miss? I thought the referee flashed 15. I knew 13 committed the foul. Yeah, whatever, it's right. Second. And the Brown free throw is good. He came in shooting pretty well, 11 of 15 from the line on the season. And interestingly, the fouls are now even at 8 apiece. I think they started, 5-0?
Yeah.
Hits them both. Nice job by Brown, who's coming off a whale of a ball game where he scored 21 in the loss. Pavihi to Giannetta. Giannetta. Here's the spy three-pointer, no good. Rebound collected underneath by Hutchinson. He gets it off to Brown. Nice one and done there for the defense. Brown clearing him out on the other side. Delowich. Whatever Coach Lunchko wants them to do, they're not doing. A lot of foot stomping. Just 8 on the shot clock as it gets away from Brown. 5 seconds, 4 seconds. And now an offensive foul against Hutchinson. Eagles have committed them with regularity here in this first half. Player control foul, so it does not give them free throws. Yeah, Hutchinson's second there. Allen will tote into the front court. Gets it to Giannetta. Inside 3 to go here in the somewhat slow-moving first half. Pavihi working against Hutchinson. Kicks it outside. Not taking the shot. Now trying to draw along the baseline. Down low. Pavihi up. No good. Rebound collected underneath by Delowich. Delowich, does he see a lane? He does. And he's fouled going up to the hoop. Is it 23 or is it 1? White. 2-3. Julius Curry. 6'3" freshman. He's from Pennsylvania. And if you're from Pennsylvania, I will not try to say the name of his town, because I'll probably get it wrong. Delowich hits the free throw. I mean, if you go by how it's spelled, I'd say it's Nesquehoning. But, you know, if you look at how stuff's spelled, you would never say McGackiesville, would you? Or Stanton, you wouldn't say that either. So, Delowich hits them both. Eagles been pretty good from the foul line here this afternoon. I believe 9 of 10 now after Delowich hits 2. 35-25, Eagles up by 10. Largest advantage of the afternoon. Allen with a burst of speed, kicks it outside. Now to the other way. Pavihi sees the lane, bumps with Ramey, has it stolen away by Brown. Can Brown beat Giannetti down the court? He can, and it's up and in. 37-25 as Brown with another bucket. He's got 8 points. Pavihi gets it off to Curry. Curry wanted to get it to Allen. Now here's Giannetta. Rims out, rebound, going to be collected by Ingram, who then lost it. He concentrated so hard on pretending he was fouled, he lost the basketball. Inside 2 minutes to go, 12-point advantage. Spy gets it in to Pavihi. Pavihi leaves for Spy, open for three. No good. And I guess 15 offensive foul. Pavihi, his first. Diop is back in the game with 2 fouls. And the one thing you just got to pray that Moose doesn't do is pick up that third in just over a minute and a half. Ramey finds Ingram. Ingram tried to get it back into Ramey. Knocked away, but Curry could not save it. 18 on the shot clock as Ingram will trigger in. Ingram, Diop, Ramey, Brown, and Owens on the court. Ramey underneath, lays it up and in. Nice job by Ramey inside after the good entry pass. Spy into the front court. Kicks to the corner. Oh, wide open Curry three. Off the mark. Rebound. Long rebound picked up by Tavares, who then lowers the shoulder and bulls into Owens. Puts up the shot, and they'll call the foul against Owens. All the dipping of the shoulder. In the old days, that used to earn you a foul. Tavares to the line. He's a good free throw shooter, 11 of 14 on the year so far. Buck 11 left here in the first half. Perfect. Both teams have missed just one free throw this afternoon. The Eagles are 9 of 10. Carlow is 3 out of 4. Now 4 out of 5. So they're making their hay when given the opportunity. Press being employed. And Brown, down to Owens, and he will just lay it up and in. Well, my friend Mike Schickman used to call the snowbird. 41-27. Front court Spy. Spy trying to shake Owens. Instead kicks out Giannetta. Leaves it for Pavihi. Pavihi. Here's Tavares. Tavares, nice spin. But couldn't completely shake Brown. Now he does. Back up top. Spy, three-pointer, air ball. 9-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock as the Eagles trigger in. Up by 14. Since going up by their largest lead of 5 points, Carlow has only scored 4 points the rest of the way. Brown front court. Brown goes right side. Wanted to go to Ramey, but instead has to go to Diop. Back to Brown. Now here's Ramey. Ramey to Brown. Cross-court pass into the corner. Owens three-pointer off the mark, but Diop's there, and he lays it up and in. 43-27. Tavares into the front court. Tried to get fouled. Now bounces it into the corner. Three-pointer, no good. And we'll go to halftime with the Eagles up by 16. Holy smokes. Since Carlow went up 23-18 to take their largest lead of the game, it has just been all Eagles. 20-9 since then, including that 13-0 run. 43-27, your halftime score. Eagles on top. This is Bridgewater College basketball on Flo College. I'm back here at the Carlow Whitelow Invitational. Appreciate you tuning in. Bridgewater with a nice 43-27 advantage here at the break. That was not always the case. It was really back and forth in the beginning, and then Carlow opened up a 5-point advantage, and then the Eagles responded. And 13-0 run, it would really just kind of control the rest of that first half. And, it was kind of really, to me, about a 4-minute spurt where they played very uninspired and then kind of woke up from it.
Right. I think, we talked about
it's like giving my kid Dimetap.
We talked about the intensity and just kind of that being an issue early on. But like you said, I'm not sure what did it, but something about after that 4-minute stretch, they just all of a sudden the defensive pressure was better. That led to a lot better opportunities on the offensive end. I mean, you started to even out the foul game a little bit. You started to play a little bit more conservative and not give away as much, and all of a sudden you were rolling pretty much.
Yeah, and I felt like shot selection was really good. You really only had one questionable shot, and it was as time was ticking off the shot clock, and you wound up making it. But other than that, I think every shot's really been in the flow of the offense. Nobody's done anything too crazy, and it's the reason you're probably a big reason you're shooting 65% in that first half, 15 of 23. Now, mind you, if the Eagles were not setting such a blistering pace, they've allowed Carlow 32 shots at the bucket, 11 of 32. Offensive rebounds, it's not really there, 5-2. 7 turnovers for the Eagles, 6 for Carlow. I'm not sure those. I want to be careful what I say here. I'm not sure 7 turnovers is right, because the offensive foul should count against you as well, and that's happened 3 or 4 times where you've given up the basketball on an offensive foul. For Carlow, 8 points from Cook. I'm really surprised it's not Pavihi, but Cook and Pavihi seem to be kind of guys who could get to the rim if they want. Right. So you got Cook with 8. You got 6 out of Tavares in the first half. 5 from Spy as he hit the only 3-pointer, as the Celtics have gone 1 of 12 from long distance. 5 points, as I said, from Spy, 4 for Pavihi, and then 2 apiece from Giannetta and from Adamson. And if you're the Eagles, you got to feel pretty darn good about what you've done with Giannetta and with Adamson. Giannetta scored 23 the last game for Carlow. He's averaging nearly 11. And then you got Adamson, who's coming off a game where he played very well as well. And Jordan Tavares had 15. Pavihi had a double-double in their last game. Just defensively, they were not in that game. Offensively, they didn't play very, very poorly. So here they are. And for the Eagles, look how spread out the scoring is. I'm not sure this many guys have scored in a game in a really long time. 8 from Brown, that leads the way. 7 from Deloach coming off the bench. Palmer's giving you 6 off the bench. 4 apiece from Ramey and Diop. 3 from Smith, 3 from Ingram, and then 2 apiece from Owens, from Richardson, from Donner, and from Jackson. And if I was Jen, I'd really be staring down that bench point scoring. 22-7, Eagles have the favor there. That's got to be her favorite stat, but typically it's negative. One of those negative stats, as Lefty Drizel used to say. I don't want to hear the negative stats. It's a positive in this basketball game, and really because they've gotten some great contribution. But up and down the lineup, everybody's been involved, and you got to be pretty pleased with that. Eagles, I can't believe they have a rebounding edge, 18-12. I just felt like Carlow had so many chances offensively. But it is what it is. And then from the foul line, look at you, 9 out of 10. I mean, everything you've done, you've taken advantage of.
Right. I mean, I think things are clicking for the Eagles. And we were talking early on in that game, and just nothing was kind of going right. It seemed like they bumped out to that early lead very early on and then kind of lost it and found it again. And some of that was a matter of circumstance. You got a lot of fouls early on. You had to go to your bench, and today's just been a good day for the bench. They played well for you, so you found something you didn't know you had. And all of a sudden, things are really moving for you.
But would you also argue that they found the right mix, and it wasn't the first mix off the bench? Coach Munchko kind of had to become the Swedish chef there, and he was throwing stuff all around the kitchen, and finally came up pretty much with the right mix, and it really paid off, and they started to look pretty darn good.
After receiving his degree in physical education, Carlow embarked on a long and distinguished career in education. He taught in state public schools for 10 years, returning to his alma mater in 1969. For 28 years, Carlow taught in physical education and coached football.
Don't understand what the EMU guys are doing out here at halftime of the early game when the other team's going to come out and shoot around. And here they are. I just don't comprehend what they think they're going to do as the other team shows up. There's a big clock on the board that tells you where we are. I don't know. Tournaments are fun.
Yeah.
And I want to say, Carlow Whitelow, the Invitational, I hope that any of you listening did get the opportunity to know Carlow in the least. Wonderful human being, and there's a million people who probably thought that they were really, really, really good friends because that's how Carlow made you feel. And I remember when I got my first Carlow Whitelow letter, and it truly felt like when you read that you were the best of friends, and just such a caring human being. And sorry that we don't have him around anymore. I know for many of you, he was a familiar sight along Main Street in Bridgewater. You'd get a friendly wave. For those who actually knew him a little bit, it was so much more. And I'm so glad that the school, and even before he passed, and that's a thing we do so poorly in society. Normally, we memorialize people and we let them know how much we think of them only after they die. The great thing is the Carlow Whitelow Invitational was going on before his passing. And just so glad that took place because he was an incredible person. He was a pioneering athlete here, an African-American athlete in the South in a time when that sort of thing was not tolerated, sadly. And Carlow just talked about how wonderful the school was, how wonderful his teammates were, and that his experience, despite what you might think, was still a really, really good one here at Bridgewater College, and that's why he stuck around. And Coach Cotton, as they would call him, was just a wonderful human being to get to know. And he'd be thrilled that his Eagles are up here at this one, 43-27. So in the second half, I mean, do you go back to how you started the first half and turn up the pressure until the fouls become a problem, or do you just kind of say, hey, we found a formula there halfway through the first half, let's just stick with that?
I think there's certainly an advantage to bringing the pressure back. I mean, you found success with it early, and the only reason you stopped was due to the fouls. But, I think there's also some hesitancy with doing that because then you kind of maybe throw off what you talked about. You found something good. You might throw it off if you're, we saw this lineup that we got worked really well when we were backing off in pressure. We're just kind of letting the offense come to us and playing our half-court defensive set. If you try and bring that up into the front court, it might not work as well.
Well, that defense and pressure defense led to the first two Eagles buckets, and then it took them a really long time to look cohesive on offense after that, but then I felt like after they found it, they took really smart shots. They worked the ball around very well, and, it led to 43 points in the first half, and that's nothing to sneeze at.
They've been doing a great job finding shooters open. That's the one thing I've been really impressed with is, players in the corners and on the wings have just been wide open, and the Eagles are finding them out there. There's been a lot of that this afternoon, and I think, that's been one of the big things is they're getting good passes, but they're passes to open shots. Sometimes you have to make a tough pass to somebody who's kind of open, not really, but these have all been really good passes, finding the open guy in space and giving him enough time to shoot it. And, they've capitalized on that, and they've reaped the benefits.
And I would say this is probably the best, and I've only seen them twice, but the best that they finished around the bucket as well. But just they've really been smart. They've really only had one, other than the fouls, kind of self-inflicted turnover, and that was after a steal on the defensive side, and then you came in and they threw it away. But, you know, you take the good with the bad, and there you have the facts of life. We're inside a minute to go before the second half begins. Thank you, Jen. I am snacked up here. Starburst and some Kit Kat. Which do you prefer, Brock?
Probably the Kit Kat.
All right. Very good.
Thank you.
The Starbursts hold a kind of a special place to me. Paul Mittermeier, who gave me my first job in radio, covers the Ravens now, and every pregame will always take a picture of all of his Starbursts that he takes out of the pack and lays them out, and he's going to eat them all during that game. A boatload. I'd have to look back at his post to find the pictures, but yeah, I'm surprised he hasn't gotten a call from Wilford Brimley. All right, off to Giannetta on the outside. That was funny if you're old or you know. Up top, Pavihi. Pavihi lost the handle, and they'll say Eagles basketball. Tried to drive into Ramey, and Ramey did a good job of just kind of being there and forced the turnover. Ingram with it as he works against Bats. Comes across the timeline. You know, remember, they've had to play so much of that first half without Diop. He's up top now. Ramey gets it to Diop, able to get it off his hip. Now Ingram, just 11 on the shot clock. Owens was over here calling for the basketball. Ingram trying to go baseline, tried to get it, and there's a foul. Little frustration foul as Ingram was trying to do what Brown did earlier and kind of curl under the bucket and then find somebody out front, but he threw it into a sea of hands. Bats into Giannetta. It's kind of token pressure. I mean, just caused him to take a little extra time coming across the timeline is what it is. Giannetta. Watch Bats flash around the front. Now gets it to Bats. Bats tried to go around the screen provided by Cook. Cook. Cross-court pass. Pavihi over Ramey. Rims out. Rebound. Tapped up. Won't go down. And who's got it? Underneath. And there's that offensive rebound. And I think that was Tavares. I'll wait for my for the screen to tell me, but I think it was Tavares at the bucket there to make it 43-29. First points of this second half. Ramey down low. Diop, nice job. And he gets it to go. Strong bucket. Giannetta into the front court. Almost. Brown picks him up. Now goes up top, Tavares. Right side, Cook. Cook hands back to Giannetta. Giannetta trying to get loose, but Diop picks him up. And here's Tavares, loses the handle. It's on the floor. Who's got it? Pavihi has it. Shoots over. And who are they going to call? What can he do? He just stood still. I don't know how you play defense if standing there is going to get you a foul. That doesn't make any sense to me. So Pavihi goes to the line. Again, both teams have been so good from the free throw line here this afternoon. That's perfect. He's got a high arcing shot, but it's just true. 1 for 7 from the floor, but now 3 for 3 from the foul line. You see how Jen does us. She gives us candy and then she eats a granola bar. She tries to stay healthy and kill the two of us off. Brown on the right side. Working against Giannetta. Tried to get it. Somehow Ramey catches it. Pushes it up and in. Wow, what a play. The senior gets it to go. Eagles up 17. This is their largest advantage. Giannetta on the outside. Pumps the dribble, working against Brown. Now goes to Cook. Cook trying to move some folks around. Gets it to Batts, open for three. He's a very good three-point shooter, but it won't go down for him, and it's off the Eagles and out of bounds. It'll still be ball. As Diop and Owens, I think, kind of got in each other's way there. Giannetta to trigger in. Gets it to Cook. Cook working against Diop, and Diop's got to be careful with his 2 fouls. Wanted Giannetta to go the other way. It's knocked away, but still comes to Cook. Cook spins in the lane, shoots over Diop. It's good. That was a nice play by Cook.
Heavily contested on that one, too.
Yeah. And Cook becomes the first player in double figures. He's got 10. Brown on the outside. Now Ingram. Finds Brown. Brown. Now Diop into the corner. Here's the three-pointer. Rims out. Ramey tried to tap it out, but they'll call Mason for a foul. And that's his third, I do believe. Yeah, this half is starting much like the first half. 3 fouls against Bridgewater, none against Carlow. Ramey will come out. And coming in is Lincoln Jackson, who saw some action in that first half. Giannetta pumps the dribble. Goes up top to Cook. Now Batts. Pavihi. Whip it around the outside. Tavares goes down low, and there's an easy bucket for Pavihi. 47-34. 13-point game. Brown picks up the dribble. Goes left side. Now gets it back. Couldn't get in. Giannetta, nice close. Diop. Back to Ingram. Ingram. Gets it into Diop, and he's got a free lane to the bucket. Did a good job. He kind of spun off of Batts and puts him back up by 15. Giannetta, front court. Now over here to Batts. Pavihi. Cook finds Tavares. Giannetta wanted it. Now he sends him a different way. Back to Cook. Cook. Does he have it stripped away? He does. Long up court pass, but that's just simply thrown away. That's the thing you can't do is get up in the air. You have to get rid of it. Pavihi. Travel or a foul? Call the foul against Lincoln Jackson. From Louisville, North Carolina, went to Reagan High School. Timeout on the court, we'll take it. 15:21 left to go here in the second half. Bridgewater up 49-34 on Flo College. Second half starting sort of like the first half did, kind of just evenly back and forth, maybe even a little Carlow advantage. But the Eagles still retain a 15-point lead. We'll see. Eagles have Owens, Jackson, Brown, Palmer, and Ingram on the court. Tavares, Batts, Pavihi, Cook, and Giannetta for the Celtics. Get it to Tavares. Tavares working against Owens. Spins, shoots over Owens. It's good. What? Now the sixth foul whistled against the Eagles, none against Carlow. Maybe it's just 5. I'm counting too early. Third foul, though, against Owens. the and one opportunity here. No good. Rebound to Palmer. Gets it to Brown. Brown bounces it to Jenkins. Jenkins goes all the way, lays it up and in. Well, that was some red carpet defense. That's about as poorly as Carlow has played defense this afternoon. Cook wanted to go to Batts. He finally does get it to him. Now shoots it over, though I thought he was going to continue. He does. Gets it to Giannetta. Giannetta finds Pavihi. Tried to dump it down low, and it's stolen away. Should have just gone to the rack. Jenkins gets it down low. Now outside. Palmer did not take the three. Instead goes Ingram. They got down there so fast, there's still 16 on the shot clock as Brown holds outside working against Batts. And Carlow will get whistled for a foul. First one of the half. Batts second. Owens and Ramey for the Eagles have 3. Matter of fact, Eagles in a little touch of foul, interestingness might be the best way to put it. Carlow has nobody with more than 2. Bunch of guys with 1. Jenkins kicks to the corner. Palmer back to Jenkins, elevates for 3. Off the rim, no good, but Ingram's there and lays it up and in. He beat Allen to the bucket. Got up over Allen, came up with the basketball and put it up and in. Ties the Eagles with their biggest advantage by 17. Out of bounds off of Adamson. Bridgewater basketball. There's that defense you were talking about. You know, not that it's pressure, it's just that it's tenacious.
Right.
Checking in for the first time for the Eagles is Chris Suber, the freshman out of White Plains, New York. Suber handles up top, will stop and go. He is very fast. Gets it out to Brown. Brown can't get in. Working against Allen, fights his way to the bucket. It's up, and it counts. And Brown becomes the first Eagle in double figures. He's got 10.
Fouls number 3, Dewan Allen. His second. At the line for the Eagles, number 2, Shamir Burrell.
Brown trying to put the Eagles up by 20. He does. With 13:32 left. Front court comes Allen. Almost lost the handle as Suber really harassing him. Cook gets leaned on by Palmer. That's, yeah. Yep.
It's one of those tough things when the intensity starts to build up and you kind of feel like you have the pressure where you want it.
Yeah.
Have them right where you want them, and it's a quick lapse.
That's 6. Yeah. I counted too quickly last time, and they might have heard me oversell it. That's my fault. As I like to say, I'll do better next time, or at least try. Tavares, the outside with Jenkins. Now gets it in the corner. Beard's three-pointer is off the side of the iron. Rebound collected by Jackson. Front court comes Jenkins. Jenkins goes around Jackson. Oh, boy. Kind of chintzy. And that's Adamson's third. He becomes the first Celtic with 3 fouls. Eagles trying to build up on top of a 20-point lead. Suber will go back to retrieve it. He works on Allen. Now kicks it out. Brown goes, oh, what a play. It's up, it's in, it counts in a foul. You could see that coming. What a nice job. That was very pretty. And Brown executed wonderfully. He's got 13 now.
At the line for the Eagles, number 2, Shamir Burrell.
Brown still has a ways to go, though, to reach his season average. Shot's good, and Brown will get a rest. Delowich will come in. Brown gets a breather. And get a little more than that. Allen into the front court. Goes to Adamson. Now to Beard. Beard picked up by Palmer. Up top to Cook. Cook with a full head of steam. Shot up. Won't go down. Jackson. Ball's on fire. Don't do it. Oh, the other way. Palmer beats him down the court. And he lays it up and in. And a timeout going to be needed by the Celtics. Media timeout. 12:25 left to go here in the second half. Bridgewater now on top 61-36. It's Bridgewater College basketball on Flo College. Well, Bridgewater's got to be pretty pleased as they've turned up the heat and are now up by 25 points. Wow. 61-36. And again, you just look up and down and you see so many guys who have scored this afternoon. Brown has 14, but you got three guys with 7 or more. Delowich has 7, Palmer's got 8, Diop's got 8. You had Ramey 6, and then you got other guys filling in underneath. It's pretty impressive. Eagles shot, my goodness. So they shot 65% in the first half, which you thought was pretty good. They're shooting 80% here in the second half, 8 out of 10. Holy smokes. Giannetta with it. Cross court, the Eagles turn up the pressure a little bit. Bats gets it in the middle to Bavihi. Now right side, off to Curry. Curry finds Bats. Bats wanted to go inside, instead he's with Giannetta. Trying to find a little bit of a spot here. Giannetta trying to force his way to the basket. Nice pass inside, but it's stolen away by the Eagles. Suber into the front court. Looking it over. Goes to Palmer. Palmer finds Jackson up top. Now down low. Back outside. Jenkins trying to play a little catch with Palmer. Just 8 on the shot clock as Jenkins goes baseline. Kicks it out. Suber tries to get to the line. No, down low to Jackson, who lays it up and in. That was pretty. I thought they were crazy for the extra pass. But they obviously watched some Ted Lasso. They made the extra pass. Outside, Pavihi. Now right side. Bats working against Palmer. Goes Giannetta. Giannetta spins in the lane, almost has it taken away. Shoots and good. He's got the shooter's roll. Jackson was awaiting the rebound, but it would not come because instead it went through. Suber, front court, shovels to Jackson, who jams it home. The second time Suber has found Jackson underneath, and this one's got him hanging on the rim. 65-38. Front court, Bats. Outside, here's the three-pointer for Curry. Good. That's the second one of those shots that they've gotten to go. Suber facing a little bit of pressure in the backcourt, gets it to Jenkins. So they break it pretty easy. Now underneath Palmer, easy. That's the problem for teams when you press. When the press gets beaten, if it gets beaten quick enough, it can look really sloppy on the back half. And the Eagles exploited them that time. Giannetta, Curry, deep three. That's off the front of the iron, And Suber was just kind of waiting for it to come to him. It's kind of like in baseball. You got to charge, right? Kyron Smith will come in. And for the first time this season, Peja Boyd will come in. The junior out of Bowie, Maryland. Played his basketball at Hargrave. And we'll see him here in a moment. 9:53 left in this one. Eagles up big on Flo College. Normally, you'd look at a team shooting 50% and say, my gosh, that's really good. And it is good. Carlow, 6 of 12 here in the second half. The problem is, defensively for the Celtics, the Eagles have abused them to the tune of 85% shooting, 11 of 13. And for the game, are shooting 72%. What's the record for shooting percentage in a game for the Eagles? Because 72%. Now, there's a lot of time left. It can wind up being 40% by the time it's all over. Deloach has it stolen away. Eagles did not handle the pressure this time. It's knocked away by Jenkins, who thought it went off of Curry's hands. And then Jenkins has a comical conversation with the referee. Giannetta gets it in. Pavihi hands back to Giannetta. Now down to Pavihi. Working against Boyd. Took him to school and got fouled. As Boyd commits the foul, and they score the bucket. So Pavihi goes to the line. If he can hit the free throw, he'll be the third Celtic in double figures, joining Tavares and Cook. Yep, did it. And that ball is up there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Suber to Deloach. Deloach tries to bull his way in. Is it stolen away? Spy in the backcourt. Now up to Giannetta. Spy to Curry. Curry in the lane, dumps it down low. It goes off the hip of Pavihi, who then accidentally fouls Kyron Smith by laying on his ankle. No such thing as an incidental, I guess, right? Ingram, they'll let Ingram check in. And also looked like Donner came back in. Jenkins, off to Smith. Back to Jenkins, cross court. They get it to Ingram. Now Smith. Ticking down towards 9 minutes left in this one. Eagles up by 23. Ingram, the double team comes to him. Over the corner to Donner. Down to Boyd. Turns, shoots. Just off the mark. Rebound to Smith underneath or no? Yes. Smith has it and then got fouled. Foul to Curry. These guys' names are making me hungry. Curry sounds good right now. Use some Indian food. 30-second timeout for Coach Munchko. And with your team up by 23, having led at one point by 27, and now getting to kind of shake out the bench a little bit, they got to feel pretty good.
Right. I mean, there's been some good offensive movement, which is good to see from the bench. I think down here we've seen a lot of good pressure and good intensity as well. I mean, the Eagles have not given up on the boards, even being up this high, and that's kind of a good thing to see this early on in the season. That
+9 in the rebounds, 25-16. You got to feel good about that. Now, I'm assuming ice cream is still at stake. Is that accurate? Eagles will trigger in underneath the bucket after the foul was whistled. Jenkins ready to trigger in. Finally does get it up to Donner. Now right corner, Jenkins along the baseline, whistles it to Smith, wide open for three, off the mark, and the rebound collected underneath by Curry. Tries to push it ahead, instead it's stolen by Donner. Donner gets off to Ingram, back to Donner. Now they find Boyd. He'll hand to Jenkins. Jenkins back out to Ingram. And now I think they'll recycle the offense here. Ingram finds Jenkins, three-pointer. Good! Jenkins from downtown. That is his first three of the evening, and he's got 5 on the night or afternoon. And Smith gets whistled for the foul right in front of us as he hacks Giannetta. And that creates a 1-and-1 opportunity. Probably not what you want to do. Up by 26. Giannetta, a 71% free throw shooter. His first free throws of this afternoon. Noah Kaniki comes in for the first time. The freshman out of London, Ontario. The Giannetta shot is good. He'll get a second one. And they're nationwide. They've got New Zealand, and they've got Canada, and parts of Pennsylvania I can't pronounce. Second shot is good. 70-46 now. Smith in the backcourt. Gets it to Ingram. Ingram cross court to Jenkins. Thought about the three. Instead whistles it to Boyd, who dribbled it off his own foot. We come the other way. Euro step again for Pavihi. 70-48. The lead shrinks to 22. Ingram front court. Gets it off to Donner. Donner in the lane. Stops. Pops. No good. Rebound to Pavihi. Front court they come. Here's Kaniki. Kaniki wanted to go to Curry, but nobody's over there. Finally, Giannetta shows up. Now down low. Spy goes around the defender and kind of the finger roll puts it up and in, and now it's a 20-point game again, 70-50. Boyd into the front court. Shovels it off to Smith. Now Jenkins. Jenkins. Now to Boyd, almost knocked out of his hands. He finds Donner. Three-pointer's no good. They've got to hurry. Donner into the lane, loses the dribble, gets it back to Jenkins. Just 5 on the shot clock. 3, has to put up the contested shot, and it's good! Holy smokes! How does that go? How in the world? Oh, gosh. 73-50 after the Jenkins 3. Giannetta on the outside. Goes out to Curry, his three-pointer. Good. Curry with a quick trigger 3. It's a 20-point game again. Donner in the air, gets it to Smith. Smith pushed, gets up, and good. Kyron Smith with a bucket. And timeout called by Bridgewater with 6:02 left. And they'll stretch it. 6:02 left to go in this one. Eagles up by 22. It's Bridgewater College basketball on Flo College. Back here at Niagara Hall, the Eagles up 75-53, 6:02 left in this one. And just got to feel good. for the Eagles. Look at those bench. The Eagles bench has scored 40 of the 75 points. Holy smokes. There's been an awful lot of points in the paint, have there not?
Right.
46 to 32 points in the paint. Second chance points, 12-10 advantage for the Eagles. Points off turnovers, plus 10 for Bridgewater. Fast break points are plus 7 for the Eagles. And the shot clock did not move. So they will do it for 28. There we go, 28. Now let's hope it starts. It does. Hooray. All right. Kaniki. Front court. Goes around the Pavihi screen, puts up the wild shot, and it goes. Wow. 20-point game again. Jenkins to Donner. Back to Jenkins. Jenkins will cross the timeline. Hutchinson back in the ball game now. Smith gets it off to Ingram. Ingram. Now to Jenkins. Finds Hutchinson up top. Here's Smith. And an offensive foul on who? Donner gets whistled for the foul. Another offensive foul for the Eagles. I mean, this has been a clinic on how to pick those up here tonight, this afternoon. Kaniki working against Donner into the front court, trying to close the gap as the lead has shrunk to 20. Giannetti, spy, elbow jumper, air ball. Donner comes away with a rebound and throws it off the softer part of Mr. Tavares. It'll be Eagles ball. With 5:07 left. Who will trigger in? Nobody wants to do it. Palmer will finally have the honors. Carter gets it in, and then a foul in the backcourt. Immediately caused by Tavares. And we go that's the 7th. So 1-on-1 opportunity down here the other end for the Eagles. Is it Ingram who gets the foul shots?
At the line for the Eagles, number 11, Mikey Ingram.
But just a 1-and-1. And Ingram on the season just 2 of 5 from the foul line. So this hasn't been his favorite place to be. He got a nice roll there. Couple more points, right? We need 79. He hit them both. Good job by Ingram. He gets them to 77-55. Eagles need one more bucket as far as the fans are concerned. Game, it probably isn't going to matter. Spy off to Giannetta. He finds Pavihi. Pavihi spins in the lane, shoots up and under Hutchinson. Rebound to Ingram. Ingram quickly up to Jenkins. Jenkins waits for the rest of the offense to get down there. Finds Ingram. Wanted to go to Hutchinson, but he's guarded well inside. Jenkins cross court. Wide open is Palmer. Three-pointer. Nothing but net. 80 points for the Eagles. They're back up by 25. And that's a big, big bucket. Three-pointer on the other end is good. Spy with the bucket. Oh, through the hands of Brown. Down low, Giamatti has it knocked out of his hands, but then Ingram stepped on the end line. Nice play by Brown on the backside of that. 4:10 left. Carlow with the basketball. They're waiting, listening to what the referees are trying to target all over. Way up top. Spinning in the lane, and there's a foul. And do they count it? They do. Hoop in the harm as Jordan Tavares gets it to go. Hutchinson picks up his third foul. It's rough when you got more fouls than points. That's just how the night's gone.
12, Jordan Tavares.
So the and one opportunity here for Tavares. No good. Rebound on the ground. Who's got it? Hutchinson, and they'll call jump ball or simultaneous possession. It'll be Bridgewater basketball. It was nice to hear the referee say jump ball. Palmer will trigger in. Gets it to Brown. Brown. Cross court. Gets it to Ingram. Now over here on the near side. Suber. Suber working against Giannetta. Finds Brown on the left. Now up top, Hutchinson. Ingram just 9 on the shot clock. As Ingram gets it back to Hutchinson, he goes all the way. It's no good, but there is a foul. And that's the fourth, I think, is what they are telling us.
Foul number 12, Jordan Tavares. Media timeout.
An immediate timeout. That is only Tavares' second, by the way. 80-60 your score. Full timeout. All right. It's Bridgewater College basketball on Flow College. But the fans know can't hurt them. Ice cream time. The Eagles hit 79 points. They've got 80. And now the work begins to hand out all of those ice cream vouchers from the fine folks at Klein's. Stat sheet for you. I know. It's very nice. So to the line goes Hutchinson. First free throw of the season. And it drops in. Hutchinson's first points of the afternoon. And it pushes the Eagles to a 21-point advantage. Second shot. No good. Rebound to Spy. Gives off to Kaniki. Kaniki, front court. Pavihi. Tavares finds Giannetta. Giannetta trying to go around the screen of Pavihi. Now to Spy. Spy working on Suber. Spins on him, shoots. It's going to be a foul. The Spy can't, Suber can't argue with that. That was pretty easy. And this is Spy's first free throws of the season. It's good. Ramey will come in. Hutchinson will come out. Second shot upcoming. Try and make it a 19-point game, and he does. So here you go. Eagles lead has shrunk inside 20 now. With 3:13 left. Suber races into the front court. Now left side. Brown finds Ramey up front. Ramey wanted to go inside. Instead, has to go back out to Suber. Suber picked up by Spy. Now sees a lane. Shoots. Oh, jump stop. Gets it to go. Giannetta on the other side. Suber's first points. It's good to see. Offensive foul. Holy smokes.
Charge taken by number 3, Stewart.
Third personal against Tavares. Adamson will come in. And Beard will come in, taking a seat are Spy and Gianetta. Brown trying to clear him out. Don't wait for me. So no pressure to worry about as he walks it across the timeline. Now hands back to Ingram. Ingram with Kaniki on him. Cross court to Suber. Suber looking it over. Sees part of the lane. Nope. Kicks to Palmer in the corner. 3-pointers off the mark, and the rebound collected by Beard. Beard pushes it to Tavares. Tavares working against Ingram. Gets in the air. Oh, nice feed to Adamson, but it won't go down. He gets his own rebound, and he gets fouled by Ramey. Mason's like, what do I got to do out here? Now, part of it he brought on himself with a couple of offensive fouls that were, one was, you can't make them that easy to call. That's his fourth. But with 2:10 left, who cares? And Adamson misses the front end. Coming in for the first time tonight for Carlow is Ryan Marini. Marini, a 6'3" freshman out of West Mifflin, Pennsylvania. Went to Seton LaSalle Catholic. Front court, Suber. Up top, Ingram. Back to Brown. He finds Palmer. Now Ramey way away from the bucket. Here's Ingram. Oh, down to Ramey, but it's knocked out of his hands. Marini with it. Wanted to go Kaniki. Instead gets it in the front court to Beard. Beard trying to go all the way. He does, but it won't go down. The rebound collected by Suber. Suber will wait for traffic to pass him. And now will tote it into the front court. Inside a minute and a half to go. Eagles up 21. Ramey finds Ingram. Ingram off to Palmer. Palmer wants to go to Ramey, and he'll force it to him. But Mason's got a tough road to hoe out there. To Brown. Ingram was open, didn't take it. Now he'll drive, gets blocked. Now puts a shot up. That's no good, and it is a shot clock violation as the Eagles did not draw iron. Because of the defense the women play, we have seen a boatload of shot clock violations in the women's games. Really on both sides. First shot clock violation here this afternoon. Beard gets it over to Bird. Back to Marini. Marini finds Bird. Now Kaniki. Inside a minute to go and just 6 on the shot clock as Kaniki's got to do something special here. He elevates. That's off the side of the iron. Rebound collected by Brown. Can he beat him down the court? No, he doesn't have to. About a 3-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Eagles do have to shoot, technically, as Ingram holds on the outside. And that's going to be kicked by Carlow. As Brown will trigger in. Shot clock now turned off, so the Eagles can just dribble it out. There's no need to shoot. As Suber will just pump the right hand on the outside. And that's going to be it. Eagles win this one 83-62. A strong push at the end of the first half and a couple minutes into the second just really blew this one out of the water.
Really never looked back after that initial scoring outbreak, and part of that you attribute to the offense, but I looked at the defensive end, like we talked about, it came up really early in the game, and then coming out of that first half, it really picked back up again, and that's why you kept your lead so strong going through this game.
But Carlow did lead this game at one point. Matter of fact, they led by 5. They were up 23-18 with 9:02 left in the first, and then, kind of like we talked about, the Eagles kind of snapped out of it. I'm not sure what it was, the smelling salts or whatever happened, but, all of a sudden they turned it on, and from there they really didn't look back. Methodist on the court now. As you've got a game coming up here, Brock, Methodist and EMU.
Right.
Should be a good one.
Yeah.
Or an interesting one. Jen is feverishly working to put the stats up on the board for you. But I can tell you, it was Jameer Brown and Carter Palmer who led the way for the Eagles. The two players in double figures, Brown with 14, Palmer with 13. And Brown does it again so efficiently. 5 of 6 from the floor. And even Palmer, 5 of 7, including 3 of 4 from beyond the arc. I mean, when your leading scorer shoots so efficiently, I mean, you see so many guys, they put up a lot of points, but it takes them so many shots to do it.
Right.
Brown in these last 2 games, he was 8 for 10 in the last game, and he goes 5 of 6 in this one. I mean, just incredible shooting. As 14 is going to affect his average, but they didn't need him as much this afternoon. They got so much more support. 4 players in double figures, meanwhile, for the Celtics. 3 of them had a dozen. Spy, Pavihi, Tavares, and then you had Cook with 10. And that does it. No players in double figures in rebounds. It was actually Ingram with the most rebounds. He had 6. Eagles shot 65% for the game, 31 of 48, 39% from three-point range, 7 of 18. Carlow, meanwhile, shot 43%. That's wildly respectable and pretty good. You'd take that most nights. 4 of 19 from beyond the arc, 21%. Eagles from the foul line, 14 of 17, 82%. Carlow was 10 of 15, 67%. As we mentioned, Eagles out-rebounding the Celtics 33-21. That was a big one. 13 turnovers for Carlow and 15 for Bridgewater. You add it all up, and it's a nice big win for the Eagles, 83-62. We will not have an opportunity to talk to Coach Munchko after this one. We'll catch up with him in the future because we've got more basketball coming up that we got to concentrate on right now. We are seeing Methodist come out, and now just coming out onto the court is Eastern Mennonite as they are warming up for this second contest of the afternoon. Brock will bring you all the action in that one. Appreciate you tuning in as the Eagles win big, 83-62, to tip off the Carlisle Whitelow Invitational Tournament. Appreciate you listening. This has been Bridgewater College Basketball on Flow College.